Fortnite Chapter 6 is shaping up to be a monumental shift in direction for the storied Battle Royale franchise. Never before during this game's 7 years of existence have we seen anything that even comes close to this level of change. The deeper you dive into this update, the muddier things get as pieces of the puzzle pile up on top of each other. Thanks to a series of suspiciously well-timed leaks that were released back in April, we know practically everything about Chapter 6, when it's going to release, the transition of Battle Royale to UEFN, first-person mode, a new swinging mechanic, and much more.
There's a lot more where that came from.
At this point, some data miner could probably make a 3-page Twitter thread on how much the lead developer loves Scooby-Doo underwear, and I would consider it to be 100% factual. Remember back when the arrival of a new Fortnite chapter was accompanied by an aura of mystery and childlike excitement because nobody really knew what crazy new features Epic would add to their game? These days, it seems like the cybersecurity department at Epic has more holes than the plot of Batman vs. Superman, because information is leaking left and right, and we're still 4 months away from the planned release date for Chapter 6. Maybe it's some Disney exec spilling the beans on a Zoom call with his girlfriend. I don't even know at this point, because we have details on every bit of the 24 roadmap, including all the major collabs. And you're not gonna believe this, but Chapter 6 of Fortnite will be very different from anything we've seen. No, I don't mean different as in they're gonna add a new gimmick or switch up the map a little to nostalgia bait old players. The leaks for Chapter 6 indicate that it's going to revolutionize the very framework on which Fortnite is built by switching from Unreal Engine to UEFN. During Chapter 6, we'll see new seasons developed entirely in UEFN. Don't think of this as a downgrade. In fact, it's quite the opposite. UEFN itself is based on Unreal Engine 5. It's just a specialized version of Unreal created for Fortnite. If you didn't already know, Epic made a whole presentation earlier this year talking about the updates to UEFN, which include customizable HUDs and UI, meta-human integration, visual upgrades, performance optimizations, new camera POVs, and the verse programming language. If all of this technobabble doesn't make any sense to you, don't worry. All it means is that Fortnite will see huge improvements to both official and player-generated content when it switches from Unreal to UEFN. I'll be real for a second. The only thing I remember from programming is creating Hello World in JavaScript that one time in high school. Yeah, it's honestly a miracle I passed computer science. Fortunately, even for an idiot like me, creating an island in UEFN should be easier than waiting for a Five Nights at Freddy's collab. And with the new discovery page they'll soon put into Chapter 6, you can subscribe to your favorite creators and be notified of their new content releases, just like here on YouTube. But did you know that you don't have to wait till Chapter 6 to enter the creator code Dr. P to support me with every purchase you make at no additional cost to you?
Put the fries in the bag, bro.
The theme for Chapter 6 isn't totally clear yet, but some are speculating that it will have a floating island or multiple floating islands in it, at least for the first season. This makes sense because they are going to add a new swinging mechanic, kinda like the Spider-Man web shooters from Chapter 3 Season 1. With all the gaps and valleys that would be created if they go with a floating island in the sky, I can already see people using the new hanging mechanic to launch themselves across platforms and ambush their enemies in new and innovative ways. Leakers also believe there will be a prone mode added to the game, along with movement tricks like wall running. Combine this with first-person mode that will be introduced to UEFN, and we might literally see Fortnite turn into Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, with people running on buildings like coked-up mountain goats. This is either going to be the most amazing thing ever, or it will finally be the death of Fortnite. I'm no boomer who longs for the good old days and talks about how simple things were in my time because I recognize the potential of mechanics like weapon attachments. However, just because you can put something into the game doesn't mean you should, because Fortnite has a unique personality and meshes well with certain types of mechanics while looking totally ridiculous with others. These days, it seems like Epic is more interested in big-name collabs and turning Fortnite into this giant metaverse rather than focusing on the core mechanics that made this game so popular in the first place. People chose Fortnite over other battle royales because of the destructible environments, the building, the cartoonish art style, but now we've got LEGO and Fortnite Festival and Rocket Racing and God knows knows what else bolted onto something that was never designed to cope with all of this complexity. Fortnite has turned into this middle-aged actress who used to be cute but is now well past her prime, and after the 5th round of plastic surgery is beginning to look like a Starfield NPC. Remember guys, there is great beauty to be had in simplicity. You might say Fortnite will limit itself by choosing to be only a battle royale or focusing solely on its shooting rather than adding stuff like Mad Max cars and giant robot suits. But I'm not advocating for limitations here, I'm just asking for focus. Imagine the excellent loot pool of Chapter 1 and 2 in combination with the art direction of Chapter 3, and all these new features like swinging, jump slides, weapon attachments, etc. I think the true potential of Fortnite is yet to be uncovered, and by combining old with new, it will satisfy veteran players while also giving new players something refreshing and unique to look forward to. I feel the best way forward is to combine the elements of OG Fortnite that worked best with new movement and gunplay systems that were introduced in Chapter 5. The main reason people hated Chapter 5 wasn't because of the new concepts themselves, but because of how poorly they were implemented. Besides, isn't that what Epic has been trying to do this entire time since the end of Chapter 4? Think about it. When Jones used that time machine, he altered the timeline of Fortnite so events are taking place roughly in the same order as before, but with new characters and POIs instead of the old ones. We did get a black hole event just like the one that took us from Chapter 1 to 2, and they even brought back the wall of water from Chapter 2 Season 3, only this time it was sand that flooded the island instead of water. Midas made a return as well with his brand new Ascendant armor to match the whole Olympus theme. However, his storyline in Chapter 5 was a bigger waste of potential than Liam Neeson going from Schindler's List and Batman Begins to playing a cranky old admiral in a stupid alien invasion movie that flopped harder than Kanye West's political career. But I digress. Epic writers fumbling the bag is nothing new, and we've come to expect it ever since the departure of Donald Mustard. But it looks like things might be headed in the right direction with the new advent of a Marvel season, which I discussed in my last video. This mirrors the old Marvel season that we got in Chapter 2, and if the leaks are right, we'll get a plot centered around Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four. Like I said, the current timeline is similar to the old one, but also different. What do you guys think? Is the new chapter going to be as big of a paradigm shift as the leakers are making it out to be? Or will Epic play it safe and cut down on some of the more outlandish stuff? I just hope they focus on the things that made this game great during its golden era, rather than cramming in every flavor of the month feature from the competition in a vain effort to recapture its former glory. Fortnite is supposed to be a trendsetter, not a trend follower.